Good evening, this is Rebecca Boyett with WCA News. We're interrupting your regularly scheduled programming to bring you an update on the latest on Superstorm Sandy. Hurricane Sandy, also known as Superstorm Sandy, was the largest and strongest hurricane of the 2012 Atlantic hurricane season, with storm force winds spanning 1,150 miles. Unlike most tropical storms, Sandy wasn't getting its energy from warm water down below, instead being fueled by the atmosphere above. An unusual combination of hurricane conditions and cold fronts made Sandy particularly dangerous. The United States Air Force 53rd Reconnaissance Squadron, also known as the Hurricane Hunters, flew a WC-130J out of Biloxi, Mississippi into Hurricane Sandy to monitor the intensity of the storm. Meteorologists also used a combination of satellites and a network of weather radars to track the progress of the storm. This has given us the full timeline of the storm. Sandy formed as a disturbance in the African coast on October 11, 2012. However, winds that went across the Atlantic prevented it from becoming a hurricane until it reached the Caribbean Sea on October 22nd. As it moved northward, it quickly strengthened until it became a tropical storm and was given the name Sandy. On October 24th, Sandy officially became a hurricane and reached its peak as a Category 3 hurricane when it made landfall in Cuba. On October 29th, Superstorm Sandy made landfall at Bridgeton, New Jersey, just south of Atlantic City at around 8 p.m. local time. Sandy hit during a full moon high tide, causing the tide to rise 10 feet due to the storm surge, which resulted in record-breaking floods in New Jersey and New York. Over 8.5 million people across the U.S. lost power. Sandy was the most expensive storm since Hurricane Katrina. It affected 24 U.S. states. The worst damage in the U.S. was in New Jersey and New York State. Nearly a decade later, many New Jersey residents are still recovering. In total, there were 233 deaths, $75 billion in damage, including over 650,000 homes damaged or destroyed. Stay tuned to WCA News to keep up to date on the latest developments with Superstorm Sandy. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.